Hi everyone, and welcome to the Bullies Out Podcast. I am so happy to be your host, Jenny Radcliffe, and I have joining me today the founder and inspiration really behind a lot of what goes on at Bullies Out, Linda James. Welcome to the show.
Jenny.
So tell us a little bit, Linda, first of all, about yourself and about Bullies Out. Just let's set the scene before we talk a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm just me, really. I'm not going to say just a mum, because no mum is just a mum. I'm a mum, 3 sons, 5 stepchildren, 6 granddaughters, all girls. and you know, I was bullied as a child, and it led to me having an eating disorder, suicide attempts. Didn't go down the career path of I wanted to be a nurse in the Navy. Perhaps it's just as well, mind, because I'm not a fan of vomit, so I'm not sure how that would have turned out. Perhaps I could have avoided that bit, but that's what I wanted to do. But with everything that went on, my career path, I couldn't follow it, because because of the bullying, I left school 4 months before sitting my formal exams. And for anybody that hasn't sat formal exams, you know that does impact on your confidence, and it can impact on your career path. Mm-hmm. And it did for me. So when my younger son was bullied, I didn't want him to go through the same things that I went through. And once the school didn't recognise it, but once we got him through it, and we finally got them to recognise it after about 8 months, and that was of me pulling him out of the school, and we got him through it after he was hospitalised and everything. And I just wanted to do something for people that felt like I did, felt like he did, parents that felt like I did. And so it was a flip comment from him that just said about wanting to speak to somebody online, because of course the internet for him then, because he's nearly 27 now, so the internet had come in, online forums were there, and I couldn't find one. And by now I'd gone back to university and got my qualifications and degree or whatever. And then he said to me, why don't you just set something up then, because you studied all of that, you know how to help people. And as they say, the rest is history. I set up an online forum, which is all we wanted to do, was to help people by having trained mentors that could help them. Yeah. Over 15 years, we've just grown and grown and grown, but we still have those mentors that are there to speak by email now because of COVID and everything. But it works, and they're there to support people.
And I mean, just to say, like, you know, you may not have sat those exams, but you did go back to uni, and you did, you know, you've received an MBA for your work. So I mean, I'm just going to say that to anyone who, because exams can be scary, but it doesn't, just not sitting them.
And when you're 40 and you're going back to uni, and you know you're old enough to be everybody's mum, but not only that, you know, loads of mothers will relate to this. Like I'm 61 now, and I've still got baby brain. So when
I'm still trying to lose baby weight 10 years later. Yeah, I know that.
Forever, doesn't it? Absorb, you know, things, and they're doing this, and I can't, for some reason I went to pieces with exams and everything, and I'm trying to absorb all this information. I just can't do this anymore. I can't. So I just take my hat off to these people who get degrees when they're in their 70s, because the older I get, the less that stays in there, you know. But it was a lot tougher at 40. So gosh, yeah.
He's certainly someone who achieves things, Linda. I mean, and it's an inspiration. But I mean, let's just go back to that initial bit for you know, just for now, because you said that, I think this is one of the things that still happens is you know, you brought this to the school's attention a lot. And your son actually had a panic attack. Like you say, he was hospitalised, wasn't he, on the way in? And I mean, this is on our blogs and everything. So if we go to Bullies Out website, and I'll put some screenshots up. And it just happened to be that you caught a school governor happened to be in there, so you got the head teacher and the governor. You really had to force the hand. I think a lot of people feel like that. Even now, it's still kind of accepted. It's sort of seen as well. It happens, you know.
Yeah.
Like we need this additional resource sometimes, I think.
Yeah, we always say to schools, you know, it's everywhere. Every school has bullying. Most workplaces have bullying. Don't brush it under the carpet. We have more confidence and trust in you if you hold up your hands and say, yeah, we do have bullying, but this is what we're going to do about it. This is how we support the person being bullied. This is what we'll do for the person displaying the bullying behaviour, because of course we've got to support those and we've got to change their attitudes and their mindset. Otherwise, you're not going to break that cycle. And this is how we will support parents. That's what people want to hear. They don't want to hear it's kids being kids. It'll toughen you up. There's no bullying in my school. You know, we get bored of that because it's all a load of rubbish. There is bullying in your school. It doesn't toughen you up. It's not kids being kids. Coming home with no knees in your trousers and your elbows is kids being kids. Yeah. You know, that we don't want to hear any of that. We want to know what you're doing about it and how you're going to support those involved. And that includes parents.
So it includes parents, it includes people who are being bullied. And just to say as well, and I think this is really important, that we look to break that bullying cycle, isn't it? It's like we try and say, well, we've got to talk to the bullies as well, and we've got to talk to the bystanders, because it's everyone's involved.
It's everybody, it's everyone involved. And you know, because as well with the parents, I mean, nobody wants to hear that their child has been bullied, and you most certainly don't want to hear that your child is a bully either. And so, you know, we've all got to work together. It's a societal issue, and everybody involved has got to work together to stop it and to support those involved. And even teaching staff, they need support as well.
I think they do. I think it's a difficult one, and it's difficult because sometimes it must be, sometimes you mustn't really, you know, or necessarily, certainly in the beginning, see who's at fault. And then it's hard, like, because you might know as a teacher that there's a child who's particularly aggressive or whatever, and think, well, you know, how do I see this levelly without emotion as an adult to deal with it, right? I mean, I'm sure that's part of the things that we train, or the Bullies Out train.
Teaching staff are bullied as well. They're bullied by pupils. They can be bullied by senior management, because we know it happens in the workplace, and being a teacher, you're in the workplace as well. And, you know, oh gosh, I wouldn't want to be a teacher today.
Oh, I think it's incredible that people are still doing that job, and through COVID as well. So what are some of the courses and some of the things that are going on? And we'll talk about how we can get involved again and make sure that we shout this out and keep shouting it out, because we know we need everyone to hear the message. So some of the courses, some of the resources that we've got.
We've got loads of different workshops and training programs that we can deliver to young people in schools. We deliver some as open courses as well, whenever we can fit them in, evenings and weekends. And the details are on our website. And the open course for children and the one for parents, we deliver free of charge. And details of those are on our website. And if there's not a date there, you can just register your details, and we'll get back to you with the next available date. We've got courses for those in the workplace, and they're all CPD accredited as well. And again, you can book them for your workplace, or again, we run them as open courses, so you can book on them as individuals if you want to as well. We do courses for teaching staff. We just work with everybody. And of course, we've got the e-mentoring for individuals. So again, on our website, under what we do, you can just complete the form, and it's a very brief form. We don't want all your details, because we know people like to remain confidential when they've got an issue, but it just gives our mentors a little bit of an understanding of why that person needs help and support. You know?
So we can reach out to the e-mentors from the form, and someone's going to get back to you and help and talk you through and help you.
Mentors get straight back to them, and that relationship can go on as long as they want. There's no, you only get this much time, you only get that much time. It can go on as long as that person needs.
So we'll put screenshots of that form up on here. We'll make sure that along the bottom we've got the website and the contact details, because I mean, I think, Linda, isn't it? I mean, you know, you've, like you say, 15 years of the charity now, and I presume that the first step is reaching out and sort of saying, look, I need help. That must require immense courage. But once you've done that, that sort of opens the door to healing.
Off your shoulders, really, because it's very easy to say, and I say this to the children all the time, it's very easy for me to say, because I never did. I never reached out for help. I suffered for years and years and years, which is why I had all sorts of issues going on. And if I could speak to my younger self now, that's what I would say. Tell somebody, because you can't deal with it on your own.
No.
Because emotionally, it's crippling emotionally. So you can't deal with that on your own. It doesn't stop. So it's not going to go away. You need help and support. So you need to tell somebody. And even talking to our mentors, you're getting it all off your chest. And then by doing that, hopefully then you can build up the courage to then go and speak to mum, dad, anybody, teacher, a guardian, anyone, and get help then in the offline world, you know, because we've got to get it stopped.
So, Linda, look, you're an inspiration. Every time I speak to you, even watch you, I'm inspired by you, and I'm inspired by Bullies Out as a charity. So you can join and support Bullies Out from just £5 a year. We can buy some merchandise. You can see these t-shirts which show our support, and I'm particularly happy to do this in Pride Month and put our sort of rainbow t-shirts which say one of the things that you're known for saying, which is that kindness really matters. We can only cancel this thing out through working through it, admitting it, and showing people how to be kinder. So it's a brilliant mission.
Kind or be quiet. You know, it's simple, really, isn't it?
It sounds simple.
It's not really that hard, is it? You know,
it's not that hard. So we're encouraging people to support this, to share this podcast far and wide, to share the links, share the Bullies Out websites. You know, encourage people to get involved and to support it. And purely because we want someone who is in that position to find the charity quickly, because they can get help quickly, and maybe we can stop this scourge, right?
That's what we need. And there's, you know, for everybody, we have got brochures, downloads on our website of information. So if they want, you know, information to read, there's so many brochures on there that can help and support them. Letters, templates of letters they can use to write, for parents to write to schools. We've tried to give them every tool and resource they need, because I know when you're struggling, I know from experience, you can't see the wood from the trees, you can't think, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. So we've tried to just give them everything that they possibly could need, you know, to deal with the issue, because we just know how tough it is out there for them.
So we are going to be doing this podcast on a regular basis. We're going to look at some of those resources in a bit more detail, tell you what you can do. I've got lots of people from Bullies Out who are going to come on the show and talk to us about, you know, talk to us about those templates, talk to us about their specific situation. We've got examples of people who found Bullies Out and can talk to you about what they did. So we strongly, we welcome anyone who's listening to this, and we strongly recommend that you go to the Bullies Out website and have a look and see if we can help you. And if you are someone who can offer support in some way, shape or form, then please get in touch and do so. It's very rewarding to think that we're doing some good in the world, especially when the world is upside down as it is at the moment. So we will see it again, I'm sure, on the show, Linda. But for now, thank you so much for launching the Bullies Out podcast. And I've been your host, Jenny Radcliffe. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you.